Hello students. So today we are going to start a new chapter, 7th chapter, handicrafts and handlooms. So it has a part 1 and part 2. So now we are discussing about part 1. So the basket maker of Andugula. The Pulaya, it is the name of a man. He is a basket maker from Andugula village. It comes in the mandal of Madugula and it consists in the Rangareddy district. This man is about 35 years old and he belongs to the community of Erukala, a tribal community. His family has been weaving baskets from many generations. The Bhagyamma, she is the wife of this basket maker. His wife also works as a basket maker. And they have 3 children. The Pulaya's father, along with his 25 other families, they have came to the city about 30 years ago. Why? Because there was no any demand for the baskets. So that's why the demand for the baskets have declined in their native places. That's why they shifted to the cities. He sells baskets on the pavements of Chadarghat in Hyderabad. The Pulaya uses the spines of wild date plum. It means Eeta Chettu. You know everyone Eeta Chettu. So that he will use. That leaves he will use to make the baskets. Using a knife, he shaves off the leaves and keeps them in hot sunshine to dry the leaves. The raw material, wild date plum leaves, are brought into bundles from the Andugula, their native place. So these leaves they will bring from their native place and he will prepare here. His relatives in Andugula, they will collect these leaves, spines from bushes around their villages and sell them to the basket makers like Pulaya. The Andugula is about 60 kilometers far from the Hyderabad. Each bundle of date plum spines, it is nothing but Eeta Chettu, the leaves, that cost is rupees 120. Each bundle is 120 rupees. The Pulaya and other basket makers, they will usually bring 10 bundles for 2 months. And his family, the Pulaya's family, makes 25 baskets from one bundle. It means they will bring 2 bundles. It is nothing but 50 baskets they will make for the 2 months. Then 10 bundles of spines would give them about 250 baskets here. It means so for 10 bundles it will become 250 baskets. It takes 30 minutes to make a one basket. He weaves basket from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. with a few breaks. Breaks is nothing but for lunch or for some time rest. They will take the breaks here. The Pulaya sells each basket for the rupees of how much? 20 rupees. And sometimes the customers ask for a bigger basket for families, rituals, and these are sold at a higher price depending on the amount of the raw material used. He sells baskets throughout the year. In 2 months, he can sell 5,000 worth of baskets. The cost price is rupees 1200. They will exclude from their money for what? For the transporting charges, and 100 rupees for every village to visit the village there. So the income of his family is how much? From 5,000 to, if we less the 1300, then it is become 3,700 for 2 months. He does not earn the sufficient money to meet his family expenditure. To supplement his income, the Polayas buys and sells the bamboo products like what? Trays and stands. The basket making is a craft work that involves the use of the wild date palm leaves and bamboo, which will available for us in the forests. There has been the depletion of forests due to their extensive exploitation for big industries. It will affect the livelihood of the people who have the traditionally they will completely depends on the forests. It is a very problem to them. Further, the demand for such products has reduced. This forces them to move out from the rural areas and migrate to the urban areas for the survival of their life. This is true for many involved in the traditional activities, and however they will often have to live in the urban areas without the basic amenities. Urban slum. The Pulaya lives in a slum area which does not have the proper drainage, so it emits foul smell and breeds what the mosquitoes and flies. And there are no such facilities like no electricity connection or no any safe drinking water. The Pulaya's hut is made up of with what the bamboo mats and recycled with the plastic bags and tarpaulin. During the rainy season, their roofs will often leak and the huts are flooded. Sometimes the municipal corporation is there, officials who are there, they will evict Pulaya and other basket maker families. Despite of struggling hard, people like Pulaya have been denied voting rights in the city. In fact, they have been denied ration cards as they don't have any proof of identity or proof of the residence because they don't live in a particular place. That's why they don't get any proof of the residence. Thus, they cannot either participate in the democratic process of the city or they can't get the facilities meant for the poor. Basket makers. The people of Erukala, they are tribe. They are usually involved in the basket making and live in different parts of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. They are called Erukala after their women's traditional profession of the fortune telling, the Eruka Chepputa. It is Sodi. You know, everyone Eruka Chepputa, Sodi Chepputa. So, in that way, they got the name. People of this tribe speak the Erukala Bhasha. The words from Telugu, Tamil and Kannada languages are used in this Erukala language. By now, you have learnt that goods such as markets made from the bamboo and Eeta Chettu, they will require the simple production by using very few materials like leaves, mostly made up of the natural resources. These trees and leaves will made up of the natural resources only. There are many other goods which require raw material to be processed in a more complex way with the complex tools. The cloth materials made up of with what cotton and silk. They are the examples of such goods. Cloth can be manufactured today either in hand operated looms or by the power looms or in a very large mills the cloths will be manufactured. We will study here how it is produced by the handloom weavers. Part 2. Coming to the part 2, we will discuss here about the handloom weavers in Pochampalli. Pochampalli is a very small town located in the Yadadri district in our Telangana. The weavers here produce the unique saris called ikat saris, which are world famous. This ikat is a term used for the particular style in which cloth is dyed, also often to be referred to Bandhani or the Pochampalli itself. They are high quality silk saris containing the simple geometrical designs, and it is available mostly in the three color shades. There are nearly 10,000 weaving families in 100 neighboring villages involved in this craft. The Pochampalli saris have a very unique design and color width is quite distinct from other silk saris. That is why it is the first handloom cloth patented in India. This means no other producers of handloom saris in the world can sell saris in the name of the Pochampalli Ikat saris. Only those saris will produce in Pochampalli and it will surroundings villages can be sold with the brand name. These saris are sold in India and abroad at high rate prices. It will cost very high prices. To make silk saris, you need what? Raw material. Raw materials like what? We need silk and colors and cotton thread we need. So they are not produced by the weavers. So what they have to do? They have to buy from the market the silkworms from which silk yarn is made and grow on mulberry leaves. The rearing of silkworms is taken up by the small farmers, and cotton is also produced in the farms and is made into the thread either in the factories or as the household craft. The colors are often made in the factories. Weavers buy yarn and colors from the markets. So the handloom weavers in Pochampalli, they will produce the cloths like this. So till now we have discussed part 1 and part 2 first topic. So in next class we will discuss the remaining topics.